Hi, Thomas from Field Tennis. There's one common mistake that I see tennis players make when it comes to hitting ground strokes with topspin. Namely, they're trying to hit topspin on the ball very intentionally. So they're using their wrist or their arm and they're trying to go up on the ball the way they were taught. So perhaps you were taught to brush up on the ball, or perhaps you were taught to swing low to high, or perhaps you use one of the coaching tools like iCoach or Topspin Pro or something like that, where the ball was attached and you were trying to spin the ball like this. Now, when you're receiving a slow incoming ball, then doing topspin on the ball very intentionally does work. But when you're receiving a faster incoming ball, which is going more in a straight line, is coming quite fast, and if you try to intentionally apply topspin on the ball, like really using your arm and your wrist, you're going to hit a lot of mishits. And that's because it's very difficult to hit the sweet spot if the ball is going in this direction and the racket is going in this direction very steeply, because you're using your elbow or your forearm or your wrist to create a lot of topspin. And so that's the usual problem that I see. I see players still trying to hit a lot of topspin on a fast incoming ball. So you might think, well, then I need to hit the ball flat. No, not really. We can actually put topspin on the ball, but we don't do it, we make it happen. Let me show you how. When you're first learning to hit topspin, whether that's a private lesson or you're learning by yourself online, you learn that the way to apply topspin on the ball is to go with the racket vertically up, because this friction between the strings and the ball is going to make the ball rotate. So you're imagining a very steep racket path on the ball, and so when you go up like this, you're going to see that the ball rotates. So you can see and feel and hear that you apply topspin on the ball, and in a way that's encouraging you to keep doing it. But what you forget is that this mental image, this exercise, is an exaggeration. And so we can't really play like that especially when we're receiving a faster incoming ball. The racket path on the ball is not so steep, that's one. And secondly, we don't really do it so much. And that's because the ball's coming very fast and it's very difficult to time that split moment when the ball is right in your ideal contact point and when you're going to apply topspin. Because this timing is difficult, you hit a lot of mishits, you don't hit the ball well. So you're applying a topspin, but the ball is short, or it goes in the net, or it has no power. What I want to show you today is that that's not how, for example, I or the pros apply topspin on the ball. I don't intentionally spin the ball, I make the spin happen. And the way to make the spin happen is to just swing at the ball and make the swing path create the topspin on the ball. So I don't intentionally use my arm, my forearm or my wrist to apply topspin, but I swing at a certain path, a certain upward path, and I know that this upward path will automatically create topspin for me. Because when the racket's going slightly upward and it hits the ball is going to spin. Of course, it's not going to be an extreme topspin, but it'll be enough topspin for me to control the ball well. So again, instead of trying to make the spin intentionally with my arm, I simply let go and I swing the racket and I make the spin happen because I'm hitting at the right contact point. Now let me explain what I mean by the right contact point. So if I just swing naturally my arm, I just do my normal relaxed forehand, you will see that it has two stages. The first stage is somewhere closer to me, so from that angle it's a bit closer to me, and in this stage, if I mark it a bit like this, the racket is going more horizontal, so it's not going up very steeply. But once I come here, I can't go horizontal anymore naturally. If I just swing my arm will naturally come up. So in this second part of the stroke, and I'm exaggerating a bit so that you see the point. So let's say in this part of the stroke, from this ball to this ball, if I just swing my racket, you can see that now the racket is going upward. And I don't have to do that like really intentionally, it's just a very natural swing of my arm. And that's of course because I'm not swinging like this. So if I had a forehand technique like this, then obviously there would be no lifting part of the forehand. But once your forehand technique is a bit grooved in, you're probably swinging something like this, whether it's closer to your shoulder or however, but there is a lifting part of your forehand. Now what's important to know is that this lifting part, where the racket starts to go up, is a bit more in front. Because here closer to you, it's very natural to swing just horizontal. My arm goes like this. But when I go forward, my arm starts to go upward. So how do I make spin happen? I just hit the ball a bit more in front of me and I just let go, and my swing will automatically create topspin on the ball. So that's one key idea that you need to keep in mind. The second one is that when the ball is coming really fast, usually I don't want to apply a lot of topspin, because again it's difficult to calculate the timing and the contact point of the ball that's coming like this and my racket going very steeply. So therefore I don't usually hit very far in front when I'm receiving a faster ball, but I hit a bit closer to me, and so the racket has a bit less upward movement. It's closer to horizontal, so I'm hitting with a bit of less topspin, but still some topspin that I can control the ball. So again, the key point is that I swing the racket. I don't intentionally use my forearm or my wrist to apply topspin, but I just know that it'll be enough that my swing path that is starting to go upwards somewhere here will be enough to create some topspin on the ball that will give me enough control, enough topspin to control the ball.
And here's the difference between doing a topspin on the left when I receive a slower ball and making spin happen on the right when I receive a faster ball. You can see that I swing up at a much steeper path when I do the topspin, and that's because I engage my forearm and my wrist to make the racket head go up very steeply. I can afford that because the ball is slow and I can still time it well and hit the sweet spot even though I swing up so steeply. But when I receive a faster ball, I don't want to swing up so steeply because I will miss-hit the ball often, since it's much harder to time it correctly. Therefore, I don't really engage my forearm and wrist, but I just swing through the ball in a more shallow swing path, which just makes topspin happen. It's less topspin, but still enough for me to play very consistently. Here are a few more clips from different angles that show you that Urban and I play at high tempo, and yet we don't hit the balls flat, nor do we apply topspin to them with very steep swing paths using our forearm muscles. Instead, we just swing at more shallow angles and hit the ball at the right contact point, and we still get good trajectory and enough topspin on the ball that gives us good consistency of our shots.
In summary, there are two ways to apply topspin to the ball. One is a bit more intentional when we're receiving a slower ball or a shorter ball, and we actually feel that we can use our forearm or our wrist and that we can go really steeply up on the ball and apply a lot of extreme topspin. But this method will not work anymore when we're receiving a faster incoming ball, because it's very difficult to hit the ball in the sweet spot of the racket when the racket is going very steeply up and the ball is coming very fast this way. That's when we want to try and make the spin happen. So we don't really do the spin with our arm intentionally, but we swing in an upward manner and we try and hit the ball a bit more in front of us, and we just know that these two things are gonna apply topspin on the ball automatically. So again, we wanna swing very naturally, we want to let go, and we wanna figure out at what contact point and at what swing path must I swing so that I will have enough spin on the ball that I can control it quite well. Thanks for watching, and if you have any questions about topspin or anything else, please let me know in the comments below or on my website fieldtennis.net.